Ignition sequence start. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All engine running. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of Orbital Takes. Today is Wednesday, September 14th. Today's episode is brought to you by Space with Spo and Space Flight Hub, the only two space accounts you need to be following on all social media platforms. We got a quick episode for you guys today. We're going to talk a little bit about the failed Blue Origin flight. Then we're going to get into the iPhone 16, or I should say iOS 16 space update that we're going crazy about. And then we're going to talk about everybody's favorite segment, the launch and scrub of the week. Pat, we'll dive into the first subject here, but as you can see, I got no voice. I think I'm mentally still in MetLife. You know, I think I'm still in MetLife. I'm dealing with that loss, with the Jets loss. It's been a rough couple of days for me. How you doing?
Chiefs are flying high, man. Pat Mahomes looks good. Back to form there. Our alma mater, KU, 2-0 on the season. Holy shit. I don't think any of us could have predicted that. So I'm feeling good this week, Spo. A lot of space news to get to.
First thing, I haven't spoken to you at all about this. We got to talk about this. The Blue Origin. Can you call it a scrub? I mean, yeah, technically, but a scrub midair. It was NS-23, and just over a minute after takeoff, experienced to suffer an engine problem. It veered off course, and the emergency abort system kicked in, and it was wild. I was actually watching it. I didn't have it up because I missed the launch, but immediately I tuned back in, and they were kind of freaking out. They went dark on what exactly the problem was. Did you see it or what?
Yeah, I saw it on Twitter. I was kind of following, you know, we've talked about how these Blue Origin flights are not necessarily that exciting anymore. Yeah. So like I was generally aware that it was happening and it was uncrewed and there were some experiments on board. So you know, who cares? You know, we see that kind of stuff all the time. But then, you know, Twitter lit up with abort, in-flight abort. And yeah, that video is pretty compelling. That solid rocket motor packs some punch for sure. I texted you. I was like, man, like that would be a sick ride. I don't know if I would sign up for it, but I might sign up to it. Like it's hey, if you press this button, the launch escape system fires. You know, you get an upgraded ticket or something like that. You're able to do that. I might sign up for that.
William Shatner. The first thing I was thinking about is what happens if William Shatner was on that flight and they just hit that G-force as hard as they hit it right there. I mean, that thing flew.
Have they said how many G's or anything that they've pulled? I haven't seen anything like that.
They've been pretty down low about everything. And it's also interesting. So there was predominantly students' experiments on this flight. So there was kids around the country watching this, and a lot of news stations were recording the reaction. Obviously, they weren't expecting this thing to like explode mid-flight, right? And then have to use the parachutes. So, and I was watching like the news in the Florida edition of it, and you see the kids like all cheering when it goes up, and then they all start freaking out like, oh my God. And I'm thinking like, God damn it. Like, why do we have to let like those experiments go on a Blue Origin rocket? You know what I mean? Like now it's like, fuck, Bezos probably just ruined an entire space generation. Fucking shit. You know what I mean?
It's so funny that New Shepard, like that was their first anomaly of any kind, I think, because it was like a perfect track record before then. And so you would think that, you know, this would be super safe. And I know the FAA has grounded Blue Origin. I'm not sure if they've announced or said or have gotten into what exactly the problem is yet.
The FAA has grounded them, so they're done right now, which is really interesting. And it's so this is good that it happened on an uncrewed flight.
How lucky is that? Oh my God!
But it just goes to show you, like these guys, everybody who rode a New Shepard flight before this was actually rolling the dice in a sense that they, I guess, didn't know if it was going to work 100%. Like what percentage do you think that the engineers over at Blue Origin actually have these like successful launches at, do you think?
I'm not sure that they get into the specifics really. I don't know how you.
I don't think you want to know.
I don't think you want to know either. I think it was the shuttle was like a 1 in 26 chance of dying. When it was all literally it was all said and done. There was like or maybe I'll have to look that one up. But yeah, there was like at the end of the shuttle program, they were able to say like, yeah, you have a 1 in 26 or 28 chance of getting on here and not coming back. I think with New Shepard, it's a lot higher than that, and it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see what caused this anomaly.
Yeah, and we know their escape system works. You know, I
Yeah,
love
I mean,
that.
and I think that's what gets lost here is that it did what it was designed to do. You know,
Yes.
I saw in the news this morning like Blue Origin failure, and I was like,
Mhm.
well, I mean, it sure the booster, there was something going on with the booster, but the launch escape system, that's literally what it's there for, is to just get you the hell out of there if there's anything that goes wrong. So
Yeah.
it was a successful failure.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what, we're going to be part of that because clickbait, you know what I mean? Blue Origin failure, you know, you got to get
Oh,
the clicks, Pat.
yeah, I got a nice little video of Spaceflight Hub about that.
Yeah, I
So
saw that. That was sick.
rode the wave on social media for sure.
I just can't start. Like, we put some of the oldest humans that have ever been to space in that capsule. And when you
Yeah.
watch the abort system, it's hard to think that one of those people can survive that flight. I mean, when it goes bang, it just shoots up. I mean, I'm already kind of freaking out about going to space. If that happens, I don't know if I'm happy. I mean, you said you wouldn't mind it. I'm probably freaking out. I want my money back.
Let me clarify. It would still scare the shit out of me, obviously. And yeah, you know, it looks really cool from the outside. But yeah, you know, when you're up there, I don't know if that's if excitement is the thing that's going through your brain. It's probably like, holy shit.
Let's talk about the hottest news of the day, Pat. Okay, the iOS 16 update with the astronomical / space backgrounds. I spent the entire day on my iPhone. I'm a nerd. You're a nerd. We were talking about this all day. What's your favorite space background so far, and how you feeling on this new update?
I have the solar system where the planets are currently at, and
So
has
sick.
it has it updated? I don't know. It's like if you watch it throughout the day, like the planets don't really move that much throughout the
Yeah,
day.
I was gonna say we're moving slow, bro. Very
Yeah,
slow.
so I guess I'll wake up in the morning and see where they're at.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I love that one. The one for Earth where it just kind of shows you the green dot of where you're at, like that's, I mean, listen, it's cool, but I just love the fact that there is an astronomy section of this.
Of course, it's a huge win for space fans. And let me turn you into his fan for what I'm doing, right? So I have the Earth as my background, but even though it has you as the green dot, it's showing the Earth's rotation into the night sky, right? So it's literally showing the planet spin. So right now on my phone, it's like pitch black where I'm at, right? But you see in California, you know, you're still getting that, you know, the edge of the sunlight there. So I don't know. I just love the rotation of that.
Yeah.
And it's like live, right? It makes you feel like you're on a planet. I don't know. You know me, I don't really see stars in Manhattan. So it's cool to watch my position on the planet, you know, from my cell phone every second when I'm looking at this thing. You know what I mean?
Does it eat your battery life? Have you noticed a degradation of your battery life?
I've had to charge my phone like 5 times today, but I've also haven't put it down. But yeah, this is a huge win for space fans, and I love how it's astronomy and nothing to do with astrology. Apple is taking a step in the right direction.
Yes. Yeah, I love that she said that. Astronomy, not astrology, because I could easily see it going the opposite way and be like, oh, what's your sign?
Easily. It could have been like, change it to your daily horoscope. No, let's get the fuck away from that. All right, so let's get into, I got some good ones here. Let's get into our launch and scrub of the week. I went first last week.
Yep.
Pat, you got launch of the week. Let's go. What do you got?
My launch of the week is solid rocket motors.
Okay.
That is what the Blue Origin launch escape system is. It's a solid rocket motor that basically, once it's lit, you can't unlight it. There are rocket engines that you can throttle. You know, the RS-25 is the Space Shuttle main engine, the core stage on Artemis. Those are RS-25s. The Merlin, the Raptor engine, you know, the BE4 engine, you know, all of these engines that are currently in existence that are, I guess, not solid rocket are able to be throttled. So you can, you know, go up to, you know, 105% of rated thrust. You can throttle down to, you know, 60% of rated thrust to kind of control your acceleration, deceleration. But a solid rocket motor is very different. So once you light it, like that's it. It lights until it's burned up. It's basically like, did you ever do like model rockets or anything like that?
Way back. Yeah, way back.
Yeah. So like those are basically little mini solid rocket motors. Like once you light it, it expels the fuel, if you will, out the back end, and it doesn't stop until all that fuel is burned up. So it's very reliable. The solid rocket boosters on the shuttle and on Artemis are solid rocket motors. That's hence the name solid rocket. So yeah, it's they also pack a very large punch, as we saw with Blue Origin. With that escape, they're just able to produce a lot more thrust and a lot more delta V. So yeah, it's to the layperson, they probably don't realize the difference between a solid rocket motor and a liquid rocket engine, but there is a distinct difference in advantages and disadvantages.
Rockets with Pat, baby. Swipe up here. Okay, so my launch of the week is I got the Axiom Space. Big launch of the week right here. So they announced that NASA announced that they're going to choose Axiom to build next generation spacesuits for astronauts to walk on the moon. It's going to be using the Artemis 3 mission and probably on from there. And yeah, these spacesuits are going to be sick. We don't have any photos of them yet, but it was a big announcement this week, and I believe in Axiom. I think I don't know. I feel like Axiom has really been about it, right? They did the AX-1 mission. They're building the space station. I think they're all in. We have no reason to hate on them right now. I think that they're going to build some sick spacesuits. And one thing they said here is that they're going to be evolvable. So like, I don't know. I don't know what that means, but it means that they're just going to probably take them to the moon, deep space and beyond. Will Axiom have the first spacesuit for a human to interstellar travel in? Maybe.
Right? Never know.
I don't know. So that's my launch of the week, Axiom, but they don't have photos, so we've got no photos to show.
Yeah, I love that launch of the week. I saw the task order that they were awarded was $228 million. So that's over $250 million for a spacesuit. And how long, and I believe it's being modeled after the XEMU suit that NASA was developing over the last 15, 20 years. It also just goes to show you that here's another example of the government program being inefficient. NASA has been working on this basically same design for 15, 20 years now. And I don't know how much they've invested so far, but hey, let's do another task order for over $250 million to finish the thing. Yeah. Where maybe Axiom could have just done this from the get-go and saved NASA a bunch of money. So, but such is the world in which we live for this government rocket/jobs program.
Yeah. Like we've discussed spacesuits before on this podcast. Right. And I think we said that they need, like trims, they need like NASA. I mean, they need like, NASA color rush vibe, basically, like the NFL does.
We did.
They need something like that.
Yeah. We did the color is your rank.
Yeah.
Remember? Yeah. The pink rookies are pink.
So go back to that episode. I will insert that here. What episode is that? Fucking 1, 2,
that was
3.
Yeah, it was episode
4.
1 or 2. It was something like that.
I'll just say every number 3, 4, 5, and I'll cut the right one into it. Episode 6, 7, 8. One of them. Okay. So my scrub of the week. I have a good one. So this scrub of the week is for UAP/UFO disclosure. So last minute I changed my scrub of the week. Basically, long story short, the Pentagon came out and they're like, hey, these, black vault videos do exist. There's a lot more that we have. However, we're not sharing them. We feel like it's a national security issue. So I don't know. I just feel like I got played a little bit. I stand pretty heavy on, I don't know. I believe in the fact that we're going to learn more soon, but this really sucks. How many videos do you think they have? Probably hundreds that probably confirmed that there's some type of alien intelligence here that we're just never going to see.
I think I read in The Verge that there was this pilot who, for 2 years, nearly every day, he would see one of these UAPs, and he's like, it's clearly not man-made. And then there was also an admission by Congress that I'm going to have to look this up and who exactly said it, but somebody was like, we acknowledge that these are probably not man-made. It's like, whoa, hold up. You're acknowledging that these are not made here on Earth? Like you just threw that in there?
Yeah. I personally think, I've said this 1,000 times, this is some type of alien intelligence. Unfortunately, it's just sharing the planet with us. I don't think I need to see any more videos to confirm it. We'll have, Jeremy Corbell will drop, a video every couple months. We'll get something maybe, another Joe Rogan podcast talking about this stuff. But other than that, guys, let's just pack it in. They're real. Let's just, we announced it here before. We don't need the government to tell us that. That's my opinion on it. You know what I mean? I don't want to be one of those guys that it's like my whole life. I'm just upset because I don't have something that I'm never going to get. There have been there have been people that have spent their entire lives trying to get footage that is like, it's just impossible to come out. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So shit. All right, well, you have it. There you have launch and scrub of the week. And then we have a busy 2 weeks coming up. There's World Space Week in 2 weeks. We got Artemis 1. When did they just say that they're going to launch that again?
I think they just announced today it's going to be no earlier than September 21st. And that's if they're able to get the extension on the flight termination system batteries, which I heard that there was a guy who used to run the shuttle launches at the Launch Control Center there, and he was like, there's been countless times where I went for an extension to the range, because at the time it was the Air Force, now it's the Space Force. He's like, there's been countless times where I went to the range for an extension and I had to walk back with my hand in my hat in my hand and my tail between my legs because they denied it. So it's a very real possibility that just because NASA is ready to go, Space Force is like, nope, got to roll it back because batteries aren't good anymore. So,
and the weather. Don't forget about the weather.
Well, and that's
the hurricane season.
Yeah, and that's all of this is weather notwithstanding.
Shit. All right, well, that'll be fun. And then after that, we have, or I think before that, no, after that, we have the DART mission coming up. So the double asteroid redirection test going straight into Didymos B. That's going to be sick. So we got a lot to cover here in the coming weeks. Thank you guys for tuning in to Orbital Takes. Tune back in next week and have a great weekend, baby. We'll talk soon. Ad Astra.